Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. And to try to get this thing pointed in the right direction, the Saints have to get younger and in some places get cheaper. That's just the reality of their situation right now with the oldest roster in the NFL. And I think there's a lot to like out at wide receiver with Olave and with Shaheed, who are young and productive and look to be really, really good players in the league. And I think they're doing a good job in the secondary. They've hit, I believe, on Adebo and Alontae Taylor, and there are some good things there. But the guy that I want to talk about in this segment is Bryan Bresee, because your defensive front for 2 years now has not been good enough. They don't stop the run. They're not rushing the passer. They have not been good enough on the defensive front. And they decided this year, we're going to move on from some of the old guard. Onyemata's out of here, and we're going to try to spend some money and some draft capital in getting this fixed. And I would suggest that Colin Saunders and Nathan Shepard have not been very good. They've been average and it sometimes just absent. But Bresee, for a rookie, has flashed to me sometimes. His stats are not going to blow you away. He's got 4.5 sacks, which is good from interior defensive perspective. And he's not going to wow you with tackles. He has not made more than 4 in any game this year. But he's flashing. And to me, there are some positions in the NFL where playing as a rookie are more difficult than others. It's all hard to come in as a rookie and play in the National Football League. But I would suggest playing running back is a little bit easier transition for some of these first-round talents. I would suggest potentially safety or just rushing the passer as an edge guy. A little bit easier. Quarterback, not easy. And I would suggest defensive tackle, interior defensive line, not easy. You're getting in there with these technicians who were 5 years older than you, 7 years older than you, like Jason Kelsey, who's on the back end of that. But, these all-pro, and that's men against boys when you start to think about it. And it's all leverage game. And for these guys' entire lives, they've been able to fire off the ball and knock the next guy out. In high school, you can just blow guys up. And some of these guys are so talented that in college, even if you don't have great technique, you can get away with it. You get to the NFL, it better be damn good. And so while Bryan Bresee's not flashing from a statistical perspective, when you watch the Saints, 3 times a game, he makes play like, oh, okay. And to me, that's a reasonable expectation of a hit on a first-round draft pick who's on the interior defensive line. I would suggest that moving into an offseason, coming into next year, he needs to be more consistent and more productive and flash more. But when I watch the Saints, without, like I said yesterday, turning on the All-22 and breaking down every rep like Pro Football Focus does, no, just as a casual observer watching the game, I would say Bryan Bresee is showing some things at that size, with that agility, at this level, that suggests, okay, we may be onto something here. Because it takes some time. Like Carl Granderson finally blossomed this year. But it took a little bit of time. And that looks to be a hit. And they've paid him. Jury's out on Isaiah Foskey. Right now, I'm a little pessimistic about that. But I think Bryan Bresee, along with Carl Granderson, could give you 2 guys who can really get after the passer. Bresee's got to work on his run stopping. That'll come. But just being big and mobile and strong and getting into the backfield and creating pressures like he did in the game. We had that huge sack against Tampa. Had 2 sacks a couple weeks ago against the Giants. Like, it's starting to come. And that's really encouraging to me. Mario, you're calling these games. You're watching the black and gold. Like, what are your thoughts on Bresee as he's progressed throughout a rookie year?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think he'll benefit a lot from more reps as he goes in his NFL career, but he flashes enough to where you see what the Saints saw in him. And I actually have a stat on Twitter from John Seigler with the Saints Wire. Bresee has the most sacks, 4.5 for a rookie defensive tackle in Saints history. And 6 PBUs are also the most for a rookie in Saints history. So far, the production is there, and I think you'll see more production as he gets more experience and gets more comfortable with the defense.
And I want him to take a role there because the two guys they signed there in Saunders and Shepard, I'm just not wowed with. I agreed with the Saints' decision to take what was – they had that long run where they were never allowing 100-yard rushers, and they were really stout up front. And guys started to cycle out and age out, and over the last 2 years – they've been poor at stopping the run and certainly rushing the passer, especially from the interior. And this looks to be a patch there. It's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it sucks because for the longest time you were looking for that running mate with Cam Jordan. You had Junior Gillette, and then you didn't really have that until you got Trey Hendrickson, and you weren't able to keep him. Now Granderson's popping off a little bit, but Cam Jordan, not really the same Cam Jordan as the last few years, right? So that's definitely a welcome development, and honestly, they need to continue to draft well there because they have not drafted well at that position as of late.
You got to draft well in the NFL no matter who you are, but as I look at the Saints situation right now, they better start hitting on some of these draft picks, and that's why I'm a little disappointed in the Foskey pick in the second round because that's a primo pick that you had early there in the second round, and he may turn into a stud. But right now, the jury's very much still out on that. And with the salary situation you're in, with some of the players that you're attached to for the next couple of years, if you want to continue to compete at a high level, which the Saints always adamantly try to do, you better create some hits with these draft picks. And Olave has been very good, and I mentioned Adebo, mentioned Alontae Taylor. That's all very good, and it looks like Bresee is going to be a hit as well. We'll see with Kendre Miller. He hasn't been out there enough for us to even make a decision on that. But if I'm looking for some sunshine there, I think that Bryan Bresee certainly presents that to this point. So. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.